For 9 months, I imagined only one moment. Walking out of the military hospital with my newborn twins while my husband stood waiting with flowers and the biggest smile I'd ever seen. Instead, everything happened differently. My name is Rachel. I served 12 years as an army medic before retiring after a serious back injury. My husband, Ethan, was still on active duty, and despite long deployments, we'd always found a way to make our marriage work. When I learned I was pregnant with twins, Ethan cried harder than I did. "We are finally going to be parents," he whispered. Throughout the pregnancy, military life kept pulling him away. Training exercises, emergency assignments, and unpredictable schedules meant he missed several doctor's appointments. I understood. Or at least I told myself I did. The twins arrived 3 weeks early. 2 healthy baby boys. Lucas and Mason. Holding them for the first time erased every difficult moment of pregnancy. 3 days later, I packed my bags, expecting Ethan to arrive any minute. Instead, I received a message. "Running late. I'll explain when I get there." It wasn't unusual. Military life rarely followed plans. An hour passed. Then another. The door slowly opened. I smiled. Then my smile disappeared. Ethan wasn't alone. Standing beside him was a young woman holding a small bouquet of flowers. She looked nervous. He looked guilty. For several long seconds, nobody spoke. I stared from Ethan to the woman, then down at my sleeping sons. Every terrible possibility rushed through my mind. Before I could ask a single question, Ethan quietly said, "Rachel, please let me explain." Every instinct inside me prepared for betrayal. I tightened my grip on my son's carrier seats. "Who is she?" The young woman immediately stepped forward. "My name is Olivia." Her voice trembled. "I'm so sorry, this looks awful." I looked at Ethan. He remained silent. That silence hurt more than any answer could have. Finally, Olivia continued. "I served with Ethan overseas." I frowned. "He never mentioned you." "He wouldn't." Confused, I waited. She slowly reached into her purse and removed an envelope. Inside was an old photograph. It showed Ethan standing beside several soldiers. One face had been circled. A smiling young man. "My brother," Olivia whispered. "He saved Ethan's life." The room fell silent. My brother didn't make it home. She swallowed hard. Before he died, Ethan promised he'd look after our family. I looked back at Ethan. His eyes were full of tears. I kept that promise. He nodded toward Olivia. Her mother recently passed away. She has no other family. I finally understood why she'd been standing beside him. Not as a secret partner. As someone carrying unimaginable loss. Olivia smiled gently at the twins. "I just wanted to thank the man who kept his word." The fear inside me slowly dissolved, replaced by something unexpected. Respect. But another question remained. "Why didn't you tell me?" Ethan lowered his head. "I thought you'd think exactly what you thought." He wasn't wrong. On the drive home, neither of us spoke much. The twins slept peacefully. Finally, I broke the silence. "You should have trusted me." "I know." I would have understood. I wasn't sure. That confession hurt. Not because he'd helped Olivia. Because he believed honesty was more dangerous than secrecy. Weeks later, Olivia visited our home for dinner. She brought a small wooden box. Inside were letters written by her brother during deployment. One letter mentioned Ethan by name. "If anything happens to me, promise me you'll live a full life. Don't carry guilt. Just take care of the people I love if they ever need you." I couldn't finish reading. Every emergency trip, every strange schedule, made sense. Ethan hadn't been hiding an affair. He'd been carrying a promise. Alone. A promise he'd been too afraid to explain. That fear nearly cost us our marriage. 2 years have passed since I left that military hospital. Lucas and Mason now race through our house every morning before breakfast. Olivia has become part of our extended family. Not because obligation brought us together. Because kindness did. She often tells the boys stories about their Uncle Daniel, her brother, the soldier whose courage changed countless lives, including Ethan's. As for Ethan and me, we learned something difficult. Trust isn't only about remaining faithful. It's also about believing your partner can handle the truth. Secrets told for protective reasons can still create unnecessary pain. Looking back, I remember the moment Ethan walked into my hospital room beside another woman. At first, I believed my family was falling apart. In reality, I was meeting someone whose family had already fallen apart years before. The difference changed everything. Sometimes appearances tell only the first chapter. The truth lives in the chapters we haven't heard yet. Every anniversary of our son's birth, Ethan and I visit the military memorial honoring those who never returned home. We place flowers beneath Daniel's name. Then we go home together. Not because life became perfect, because love became more honest. And that's the lesson I hope my sons carry into their own lives someday. Never let fear write the story before truth has the chance to speak. Sometimes the person standing beside someone you love isn't the ending of your relationship. Sometimes they're the beginning of understanding, compassion, and a family that grows in ways you never expected.